Hey guys, Brendan Hall here, joined by one of our esteemed good friends of ESPN Boston here, Malcolm Smith, former East Boston coach, now coach at Cristo here joining us at the Boston City League Championships, where Brighton just etched their name into history. First Boston City League title in program history. Great win there for Hugh Coleman, one of the true good guys in the city. Malik James, wrapping up tournament MVP. Malcolm, we'll start with that. Obviously, as coach at EC last couple of years, you got to face Malik quite a few times, and now watching from the stands, you get to observe a little bit more. Your thoughts on Malik as tournament MVP here?
Well, I tell you, he's the Rajon Rondo of the Boston City League. I mean, there's nobody better in the state, I think, who draws and dishes better than this kid. I mean, if you give him an angle, he's going to slice and dice you. And what was more surprising than anything else today is that he was finishing. You know, usually he just passes. You have games where he's 5 points, 15 assists. But today, I think he compiled 18 points, 13 assists, and 7 boards. I mean, he's unstoppable when he was one-on-one, and I thought New Mission was riding him to his right a lot. He just went that way, picked him apart, dished all day, made Jason Jones look like the MVP that I thought he was.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Jason Jones. That's a point you made off camera. You thought he might have been the MVP. Certainly you can make a case after tonight. I mean, you talk about playing against a team that prides itself on defense and battling on the boards, and Jason went right up at him, and he held his own. Let's talk about Jason, really the unsung hero of this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he had 11 points, 14 rebounds. I think that what Jason did, he controlled the paint on both ends today. He had 8 offensive rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds, and the problem was that New Mission could not keep him off the boards at all. Like I said, I thought he was the MVP. He made shots early, he made shots late, he defended, and more than anything else, he was just a terror, a menace on the boards.
Hard to believe this, okay, but we're now looking at 6 in a row for Brighton over New Mission. Last time New Mission beat Brighton was in the Division II North Final, 2011. New Mission, of course, went on to win its 2nd state title in a row. But you look at New Mission, and obviously they're not without talent. And they obviously they bring out the best in Brighton, because last month they squared off, and Brighton made a 20-point fourth-quarter lead, evaporate in about 6 minutes. What does New Mission got to do to beat these guys?
Well, you know, first of all, let me tell you about Brighton, okay? Hugh Coleman does an excellent job. He does a great job, maybe a better job than any coach around, as his guys play their roles, okay? He dictates what he wants those guys to do, and they play their roles better than any high school team I've seen. When you have a guy like Nick Simpson right there, who I call a professional due to the fact that he scores late, he's 60% with the shot clock going down 10 seconds, everyone knows a role. What New Mission needs to do right now, I think New Mission needs to go to a man-to-man with these guys. I thought that today, even though the zone started off pretty good, but I thought that, you know, Brighton, they spread the court very well. They look, you know, you throw a zone at him, Malik's going to be able to pick it apart. Go to an old-fashioned man-to-man, stay home, slide your feet, close out, a lot of communication. I think they'll have success with a man-to-man. Get rid of the junk.
Yeah. Let's talk about this tournament going forward. It feels really weird, okay? No East Boston, no Charlestown, no Madison Park. I know they were staples of this tournament for a long time, but the new realignment with the 3 tiers, Dorchester, South Boston in the tournament for the first time in ages. But I want to get your thoughts on how you think this worked out, because I know you were an opponent of this when it initially came out, when they initially had this vote. But what are your thoughts on this tournament going forward based on this new format?
Well, you know, the format, I did not like the format at all. That's when I had a job. But, you know, now I became a fan over the last couple of months, to be honest with you. I thought that it pumped a new, fresher breath of air into the City League, and it gave a chance for South Boston, who came in here and fought valiantly for 4 quarters yesterday before falling in the last couple of minutes, and Dorchester, who came in here, put up a good effort, but I thought the deer in the headlights, you know, I thought they were a little overwhelmed yesterday and everything. I thought they could give a better performance, but I do like the new format, because what now it is, if you're going to be in that Super 6 right there, you got to fight it out every night. It's like the Big East, okay? So you got to prove your worth, okay? So you got 6 teams in there, the best 2 come out, and I think what it does is give nice parity for the city.
Okay. Before I let you go, Malcolm, as we always do this, we always leave predictions for the future, and we got the tournament seedings coming out Friday morning. MIA tournament, my favorite 3 weeks of the year, your favorite 3 weeks of the year, starts on Monday. Okay, you're a Barnstable guy.
That's right.
Barnstable's won 11 in a row.
That's
But let me give us a prediction. We'll get more into this next week. But give me one quick prediction to hold over the weekend for now.
Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, I think O'Brien in the Division III is going to make it all the way to UMass Boston. They've been playing, you know, they lost to Salem in the championship game of the tournament out there, but they've been playing great ball as of late. I think we're going to see O'Brien get down there. I also think that Taunton's going to be a dark horse in that South. New Bedford's playing extremely well. Brockton's sliding a little bit. I think BC High and Mansfield, for some reason, I think they're going to meet up with each other, you know, before it really counts, and I think they're going to knock each other off. That Division I South is wide open down there. That Division I South is wide open.
That's interesting you make that about Division III, because we talk all year about Wareham, Rockland, and now Bishop Feehan, Cardinal Spellman, et cetera, et cetera. Wow, that's an interesting pick there.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this one at you, Malcolm. I know this is kind of a shoe-in, but watch out for Lynn English. Saw them twice last weekend, forced 37 turnovers out of Springfield Central, upset St. John's Prep in the final of the IA 130. The 3 guards, then there isn't a Ryan Woom in this cast, but between Freddie Hogan, Stevie Collins, Eric Rosario, a terrific post player in Ben Bowden, some terrific guys off the bench. I think they're going to make a run at it. The Running Bulldogs, they've won 11 of 12 coming into the tournament here. Watch out for them. I don't know if it's going to be 2009 again when they went to the state final, but I like their chances. And it's a very wide open Division I North as well.
Oh, the Division I North. I wish I was back in there this year. I might be able to get out of the second round. But let me tell you something about that Lynn English team. And let me tell you something about the city of Lynn. No different from the city of Boston. They got a lot of pride out in the city of Lynn. They play a little bit harder than we do down here, and they got tremendous athletes. So Lynn English is back on top. A little bit of scandal going on the last couple of years, but like you said, they're 40 minutes, 32 minutes of hell. They get right after you, and they don't stop. And that Freddie Hogan can play. He can play from day one.
Okay. Well, there you have it, Malcolm. And as always, it is a pleasure.
Oh, definitely.
Always a pleasure having you on.
It's the time of year.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Brighton, winners over New Mission, first City League title in school history. A historic night for them. But coverage doesn't stop here. Be sure to go to ESPN Boston later on. But also check for us tomorrow. We have the MIA tournament seedings coming out. And then Monday, it gets stolen. We'll have our predictions. We'll have our players to watch. We'll have coverage every day, every night, right until the state championship, March 17th. So be sure, don't go anywhere. But for now, thanks for tuning in. For more coverage, go to ESPNBoston.com.